The night sky above Earth was calm and quiet, but deep inside the United Earth Science Council, a small team worked feverishly. A new prototype spacecraft sat in the lab, sleek and small, its surface glowing faintly under the bright lights. To the outside world, it looked weak, almost laughable, yet inside it held powers that could change humanity forever. Dr. Lena Carver leaned over the console, her eyes scanning every readout. She had spent years designing the ship, testing every system, and now it was almost ready for its first flight. Her team whispered in excitement, unaware that far beyond the stars, eyes were watching. Eyes that did not see humans as equals, but as a joke, a small planet not worthy of attention. In a distant part of the galaxy, alien commanders laughed as their screens showed Earth signals. "They are so weak, it is amusing," one said, his voice cold and sharp. "They send messages, and we watch them squirm," said another, smirking as he looked at the tiny blue planet. For centuries, humans had been ignored, and the aliens thought nothing would ever change that. Back on Earth, Lena and her team prepared to test the prototype's communication system. The ship emitted a soft hum as signals traveled into space, meant only for Earth orbit. But a small mistake occurred, a tiny error in the code, and the signal slipped farther than intended. It reached a dangerous alien empire, one known for its power and aggression. The aliens intercepted the pulse instantly, their alarms flashing red. They read the message in their own way, misinterpreting it completely. To them, it was not a test, not a routine signal. It was a call for help, or worse, a call for war. Their warships stirred from orbit, preparing to jump across light years toward Earth. The command rooms buzzed with activity, each officer shouting orders, ready to respond to what they believed was a threat. On Earth, Lena's console beeped urgently, strange signals streaming in from the deep void. She felt a cold shiver run down her spine. Something was very wrong, and the truth hit her before the computers could confirm it. The aliens were coming, and they were not coming as observers. They were coming as attackers, ready to destroy anything that stood in their path. Panic spread across governments and media, cities held emergency meetings, and people looked to the skies. No one knew why the aliens were coming or what they wanted. But humanity had a secret, something hidden for years. A warship unlike any other, built in silence, in shadows, away from alien eyes. It was powerful, fast, and deadly, a weapon that could change the fate of the planet. As the countdown to launch began, Lena walked along the side of the massive ship. She could feel its engines hum, a low, vibrating promise of strength. She knew mistakes had been made, but she also knew that this moment could turn fear into hope. The prototype was ready to leave Earth, to face the aliens who had laughed at humans for centuries. And as it lifted from the ground, heading toward the unknown, the galaxy held its breath. The first step in humanity's fight for survival had begun. The stars above Earth had never seemed so bright, yet humanity's eyes were fixed on the deep darkness beyond. Reports from satellites confirmed what everyone feared. The alien fleet was moving closer, faster than anyone had predicted. Panic swept across cities, government scrambled, and emergency lights flashed in every command center. Dr. Lena Carver watched the radar screens, her heart pounding in her chest. The massive shapes of alien warships appeared as tiny dots at first, then grew larger with every passing minute. "They're coming too fast," said one officer, his voice trembling. "We can't stop them with conventional forces." The aliens were not just observers, they were predators, and Earth had become their next target. In the secret docks beneath the mountains, the human warship prepared to leave. Its engines glowed faintly, waiting for the command to awaken their full power. The ship was massive, far larger than any human vessel ever built, its hull bristling with weapons and shields. Lena's hands moved across the controls, checking every system, every weapon, every signal. "This is it," she whispered, "the first step toward survival." As the warship lifted off the ground, alarms blared across the planet. People outside watched the sky, unsure if this was a farewell or a chance at survival. The ship broke through the atmosphere, engines roaring, leaving a trail of fire and hope behind. Inside, the crew held their breath, knowing that once they crossed the line, there was no turning back. Meanwhile, the alien scouts detected the human vessel, confusion spreading among their ranks. "They are sending only one ship," one commander said, disbelief in his tone. "They cannot be serious," another replied. "This is absurd, they are nothing compared to us." The aliens laughed, thinking this was a minor test, unaware of the secrets humans had built in silence. On board the warship, the crew prepared for their first encounter. Weapons hummed and shields charged, every system tested against the possibility of total destruction. Lena gave commands calmly, her voice steady despite the fear that gripped every heart. She knew the aliens would strike first, and humans had only one chance to survive the opening attack. As the warship jumped through space, leaving Earth far behind, the stars seemed to stretch into lines, the vast darkness around them filled with tension. Every crew member felt the weight of history pressing on their shoulders. They were not just humans anymore, they were humanity's last hope, a single warship against a galaxy that had laughed at them for centuries. And then, in the distance, a blinding light appeared. The main fleet of aliens had arrived, massive ships moving with terrifying precision. The hum of engines, the gleam of shields, and the scent of war filled the vacuum of space. The humans tightened their grips on controls, their hearts racing, yet determination burned in their eyes. They knew that this encounter would decide the future of Earth. And as the first alien scouts came into firing range, Lena whispered to herself, "Let them see what humans are capable of." The void of space was alive with motion, streaks of light marking the approach of alien scouts. The human warship glided silently, its massive hull bristling with weapons, every system ready for the first strike. Dr. Lena Carver stood at the command bridge, her eyes scanning the sensors, heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. "They are closer than expected," said the weapons officer, his fingers hovering over the firing console. "Prepare for evasive maneuvers," Lena commanded, calm but firm. "We cannot let them pin us down." The first alien scouts appeared, sleek and deadly, glowing with energy fields, moving in formations that humans had never seen before. Their weapons were alien in design, firing beams of light that could tear through mountains, and the warship's shields flared under the first test. The humans responded with precision, releasing rapid countermeasures and firing plasma volleys. The first clash lit up the darkness, flashes of energy streaking across the void, each shot a deadly gamble. The aliens laughed at first, convinced the humans were fragile and weak. But then the warship revealed its secret. The weapons were not only strong, but adaptive. Each shot seemed to anticipate the alien movements, every strike carefully calculated. One alien commander growled in frustration, "These humans are clever, but they are still weak." But the humans had more than cleverness, they had ingenuity. The warship deployed drones that mimicked their own energy signatures, confusing the enemy fleet. Alien beams misfired, colliding with their own shields, causing small but significant damage. Humans maneuvered their ship like a predator, striking where the aliens least expected. On the bridge, Lena's hands flew across the controls, her mind calculating thousands of possibilities. "Target their left flank, then prepare for a jump maneuver," she ordered. The crew executed with perfect timing, dodging enemy fire and striking back with precision. The aliens had never faced a foe like this, a species underestimated for centuries. Every move of the humans surprised them, their arrogance replaced with confusion and fear. As the first wave of battle ended, both sides paused, circling each other like hunters. The warship hummed with energy, shields shimmering, weapons primed for the next strike. The aliens regrouped, sending larger ships forward, a massive assault designed to crush the humans in one blow. But Lena smiled quietly, knowing the humans had a plan. The warship's hidden systems, experimental and secret, were ready for the full fight. A sudden alert flashed across the bridge. Alien reinforcements were arriving faster than expected. The tension tightened like a rope around the crew's hearts. Yet, amid the fear, there was determination. Humanity's deadliest warship had survived the first encounter. The first clash had ended, but the real battle was about to begin. And as the alien fleet prepared to strike again, Lena whispered to herself, "Let them see the strength of Earth, and never forget it." The alien fleet roared forward, dozens of massive warships glowing with deadly energy. The human warship floated in the darkness, calm but ready, every weapon charged to full power. Dr. Lena Carver stood on the bridge, eyes sharp, heart racing, knowing this was the moment humanity had waited for. "Brace for impact," she ordered. "They will not hold back." The first salvo of alien fire tore through space, beams slicing past distant stars. The human shields flared, absorbing the brunt of the assault, but every pulse tested their strength. Crew members gritted their teeth, firing back with precise energy blasts, each one striking vital points. The aliens were powerful, far beyond what humans had imagined, yet the warship held, adapting to every attack. Lena smiled slightly, her mind racing with strategy. "We will split their fleet," she commanded. "Divide and confuse them." Drones erupted from the ship, shimmering like ghosts, mimicking human energy signatures. The aliens, frustrated, fired at the illusions, wasting power and leaving openings. Humans struck quickly, exploiting the gaps, disabling key alien ships one by one. The battle grew chaotic, stars lit with flashes of energy, explosions scattering debris in every direction. Every time the aliens adjusted, humans had already predicted the next move. The warship's experimental engines allowed sudden jumps, disappearing and reappearing across the battlefield. Alien ships tried to trap them, but humans were always one step ahead. Lena's calm voice guided the crew, each command turning fear into power. One alien commander roared in anger, "These humans are impossible to beat." But humans had more than technology, they had creativity and courage. They used alien tactics against themselves, luring the largest ships into traps. The warship fired a concentrated beam that cut through multiple enemy vessels. The aliens had never faced such ingenuity, their arrogance fading into panic. Amid the chaos, smaller alien fighters tried to flank the human warship. Crew members moved with perfect coordination, disabling attackers before they could reach critical distance. Each victory built hope, each successful maneuver boosted confidence. The humans were not just surviving, they were dominating. Earth's prototype had become a legend in its own right, proving the galaxy had underestimated humans for far too long. The battle reached a fever pitch, alien ships regrouping for a final strike. Lena knew they had one chance to turn the tide completely. "Prepare the main cannon," she ordered. "Focus all energy on their flagship." The crew worked in unison, energy building to a blinding glow. With a thunderous roar, the weapon fired, a beam so powerful it tore through the alien flagship. Shockwaves rippled through the enemy fleet, sending ships spinning out of control. The aliens faltered, their formations broken, their confidence shattered. Humans pressed forward, taking control of the battlefield with precision and courage. For the first time, the galaxy's deadliest aliens feared the small planet they had mocked. And as the smoke of battle drifted across the stars, Lena knew humanity had survived the impossible. The warship floated among the wreckage, alive, victorious, and ready for whatever came next. But the battle was not over. Far more dangers lurked in the galaxy. And Lena, standing on the bridge, whispered softly, "This is only the beginning." The battle was over, yet the stars still seemed to tremble from the explosions. Alien warships lay scattered, some drifting silently, others burning in the void. The human warship floated among them, powerful and unscathed, its hull glowing with energy and pride. Dr. Lena Carver stood on the bridge, watching the battlefield. Her crew was tired but exhilarated, hearts still racing from the intensity of the fight. They had faced a force that had mocked humanity for centuries. And they had survived, not just survived, but won. News spread quickly across Earth, and people everywhere watched in awe. Humans had faced the galaxy's deadliest enemies and emerged victorious. The prototype warship had proven that Earth was not weak, not small, and not to be underestimated. Every nation celebrated, yet in secret, scientists and engineers worked to improve the ship, knowing this was only the beginning. Far across the galaxy, alien commanders struggled to understand their defeat. How could a primitive species fight with such skill and cunning? One demanded. "They are not like we expected," another replied, fear creeping into his voice. Earth had become a legend overnight, a planet once laughed at, now feared. The SOS that was sent by mistake had turned into a message of warning for all alien empires. Back on the human warship, Lena addressed her crew, her voice calm but firm. "You have done more than defend our planet," she said. "You have shown the galaxy what humanity is capable of." The crew nodded, a mixture of pride and exhaustion on every face. They had not just fought a battle, they had rewritten the story of Earth in the stars. Yet, even in victory, Lena knew the galaxy was vast and full of dangers. The aliens might recover, regroup, and seek revenge. But humanity had made its first mark, proving that courage, intelligence, and determination could overcome even the greatest odds. The warship began its journey back to Earth, engines glowing, carrying not just weapons but hope. As Earth's blue horizon came into view, celebrations erupted across continents. People cheered for the crew, for the scientists, and for humanity itself. Legends of the mistaken SOS and the deadliest human warship spread quickly. Stories that would be told for generations. A reminder that even a small planet could stand against the galaxy. And as Lena stood on the bridge, looking at the stars once more, she whispered softly, "This is only the beginning. The galaxy has much more to see, and humanity will not be silent." The warship landed, engines slowing, and humanity had earned its place among the stars. The SOS that once seemed a mistake had become a message of power, courage, and survival. And in the hearts of humans everywhere, the fire of adventure and defiance had been lit. Earth had survived, humans had triumphed, and the galaxy would never laugh at them again. The story of the deadliest human warship had only begun. And somewhere in the vastness of space, other civilizations would remember the day the humans answered a mistake with courage.